What's up guys, it's Nacho. Welcome back to our Football Impact video. A lot of headlines this week in the Premier League, Bundesliga and Serie A and also Ligue. But I want to take this moment to say I'm deeply saddened with the passing away of David the Story, who sadly passed away at the weekend. He was a Fiorentina captain. He was only 31 years old, and it's sad because the whole footballing world has been shocked with this whole news. And yeah, my prayers and my condolences, and also to the family and people who've been affected by this. And yeah, football is strong, and we will all try and help everybody else as possibly we can. So yeah, as I've said, my condolences are to the family who have been affected by this. Now we're going to see what happened this week in the Premier League. And in the Premier League, Chelsea played Man City. And you expect two big teams. Go for it. Go and see what they can do. City are going to be the Premier League champions this season, and Chelsea are the regaining and are still the champions. And single-handedly was the worst match I've ever seen between two top teams. Chelsea are now 5th in the league, trying to find the top 4. You expect them to go to Manchester City and just say, you know what? We've had a shit season. City are gazillion points ahead of Chelsea at the minute. Just go out there and show. You got Eden Hazard, you got William, who's been unbelievable form. Yeah, Pedro's not been at his best, but they've been awful. Hazard was playing up front and literally had Otamendi and Laporte, and then come on, Eden Hazard's not a striker. And you're playing up front and you think like he's had his arms in the air. You think, come on, give me something to go. Tony Conte got the tactics terribly wrong. And Newcastle and West Ham and many other teams played Man City this season got slated for playing negative football against Man City, because West Ham and Newcastle don't have the fucking players that Chelsea have. But Chelsea are the champions of the Premier League last season and are still the champions. Man City haven't got the C beside any of them. I haven't even lifted the tower yet. So the fact that Chelsea can go to Manchester City and play negative tactics, but it's the same team in terms of attacking. Okay, apart from Bernardo Silva and maybe the defence, but still it's the same Man City team that David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero. They played last season, they won 3-1. So to me, it was appalling, and it goes to show every team in the Premier League are scared as fuck of playing Man City. The only team that can beat City, okay, apart from Wigan and Liverpool, are Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, maybe Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain. Everybody else is scared the fuck away from them. They think, no, get away from me, I don't want to be near Man City. And that's what I'm seeing right now. Liverpool went to Anfield and beat them because of Anfield, but at the Etihad, they were thrashed 5-0. Man United is still to go to Etihad this season, so everyone is scared of Man City, and that's a worry. If that's not right now, but if Man City keep dominating the Premier League right now, it could be. Chelsea were a disgrace and should apologise to all the fans who went to that game, because Chelsea fans paid a lot of money to get from London up to Manchester, and they should be disgraced, and they should at least pay the tickets back, because it was appalling to watch. It was an appalling football match to watch. Man City won it thanks to Bernardo Silva's goal. The game was terrible. Why Giroud didn't start, I haven't got a clue. Chelsea now looks an uphill task for them to get top 4. Maybe the only reason why they win the Champions League is going to be winning the Champions League, like they did in 2012 under Roberto Di Matteo. As for Man City, they've already won the league. Can they win the treble? Yes, they can. The thing that stops them is probably themselves. Now we'll see what happened with Arsenal, it's Wenger in, Wenger out, Wenger in, Wenger out. We do the hokey pokey and we turn around, and that's what Wenger's all about. That's right, Arsenal lose 2-1 to Brighton, and I predicted Brighton to win this game, and they did. I actually tipped them to win 3-2, and they won 2-1. So I'm terrible at doing predictions, but I did tip them to win. Arsenal, typical Arsenal really, don't have a leader. Defensively, not good enough, and a goalkeeper who literally can't catch a ball to save his life. And Peter Cech looks like to me coming the end of his career and probably needs to go to either Serie A in Italy, or maybe go to another league to rekindle his form, because right now he's been terrible for Arsenal this season. But the 2 goals from Brighton, the first goal, well, let's just say it was from a corner, and the zonal marking, I keep saying it, is the stupidest decision. Whoever zonal marks, I'm sorry, but it's never worked. I've never seen zonal marking working, and it doesn't work. because you're not marking your man, you don't have a man on the post, and the biggest one is the goalkeeper doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know, the catcher doesn't know where, if the players want to do, so it's a mess. But the goal from Brighton was excellent. Like, Dunk was in there, his goal, I think it's his first goal of the season, first goal ever in the Premier League, so good for him. But Petr Cech just punched it to him, he scored. The second goal, Kashami, I don't know who he's passing it to, I think he's trying to pass to Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere was never looking the ball. Then the Brighton player, Gross, puts an unbelievable ball into the box. Glenn Murray heads it straight at Petr Cech. He should save it. Arsenal got a goal back thanks to Aubameyang, but just paper over the cracks. The second half was all nitty-gritty possession of Arsenal, but it wasn't through. The players were making runs. Aubameyang, I mean, for me, Ozil and Mkhitaryan had a terrible game. Somebody's not right at Arsenal. For me, Wenger has to go. You can't tell me them players are playing for him, because they're not. He should have left last season when they won the FA Cup. That was his time to go. He didn't, because he's, like Arsenal fans say, too fucking stubborn. But I just think he needs to go. He needs a new face. He needs a new face, new fresh, new leaders. He just needs new everything in that club. For me right now, Arsenal need change, and Wenger needs to go. Good run for Brighton. That win will keep them up in the Premier League this season, plus up to the top 10, and they probably need another win or two, and they're safe. And for me, they already are safe. They've had a cracking season. Chris Hughton is an underrated manager, and for me, if it was for Pep Guardiola and Sean Dyche, he is my manager of the season. Liverpool beat my team Newcastle 2-0 thanks to Mohamed Salah and many of the goals. Newcastle played, you could say, park the bus type of game, but they don't have the players. Newcastle, John Duchel was missing in this game. His creativity was massively missed. Dwight Gale was so excellent up front, he fell for him because just no one gave him midfield runners. There's no Diame, Moreno, Atsu or Murphy, just not busting forward. So I felt sorry for Gale, but Liverpool's superiority showed in this game. Chamberlain, I thought, had a really good game. I thought was definitely the best player on the pitch. And he looks like to be, since he left Arsenal, it looks like to be a really good midfield player. Like, he wants to be in the centre midfield. He may be the centre midfield for England, and he looks like centre midfield. Got that down for Liverpool. But they wiped the floor, Newcastle. Newcastle United, for me, their next two games against Southampton and Huddersfield will define their season. And I keep saying it, fuck you, Meg Ashley. Get out of my club, you fat cockney cunt. As for Liverpool, second this season is definitely up. It can definitely still happen, but it's all down to Man United's form, really. Swansea got back from a little dip in form after getting beat by Brighton 4-1. They won against West Ham 4-1, and a great win for them. The two Ayew boys were excellent, fully deserved their 3 points. Jordan Ayew scored a penalty in this game, fully deserved the win. West Ham need to get some form. Yes, they don't have good defence, like Winston Reid looks like they're out for the rest of the season. They've sold Fonte. Zabaleta was playing centre back in this game. He looked out of his depth. And there's a lot of rumblings going on off the pitch for West Ham, like the board, like the owners and the fans. It looks like to be on a protest and something going on at West Ham. So there's a lot of negativity at West Ham at the minute. But they need to find some results from now and the end of the season to stay in the Premier League, or they could go down to the Championship. Burnley get their first win in 2018 after beating Everton 2-1. Everton were single-handedly shockingly shit in this game. They had no leaders, they looked like a dismal football team, and they looked like they can't wait for the season to end, so they got a new manager in and get rid of the players that don't want to be here, don't want to be there. Burnley were excellent and only 5 points behind Arsenal. If you told me that at the start of the season, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have said pigs will fly, because I wouldn't have believed you for a second. But they've had an excellent season. Sean Dyche, for me, is my manager of the season. The fact that Burnley are 7th, 5 points behind Arsenal, is unbelievable, to say the least. And they were excellent in this game. Yes, they were 1-0 down thanks to Czech Tozan's goal. Yes, they did come back in the game thanks to Barnes and Chris Wood, even though the defending from Everton was dismal beyond belief. But they have been excellent this season. They've had a fantastic season, and they can look forward to next season and try and get a good end to the season. And they can look forward to, because they're going in the right direction. Burnley, as for Everton, they're not going in the right direction, and if they don't bring up some points, get a couple wins soon, they're in the mire of fighting for this relegation this season, because they're only, I think, 5-6 points that's not a gap. 10 points, 9, 8 is the gap. They're in it, and neither. Get something quick. And last game was Tottenham comfortably Huddersfield 2-0 thanks to 2 goals from Son, who has had a fantastic season this year. I don't think he's been the best player in terms of Tottenham this season. I think Harry Kane, and then you got Dele Alli and Eriksen, but he's definitely been one of those guys under the radar this season. He's had a fantastic season. He scored 2 goals in this game, 2 very good goals, especially the second goal, which was an absolutely delightful header, even though the ball from Harry Kane was world class. And the first goal wasn't bad either. You're going to the goalkeeper, puts in the back of the net. Huddersfield, bigger fish to fry. They have got the games now where you think that they got a decent run of games. Those games are going to define their season, not against Tottenham. So guys, let's have a look at the Premier League table. Man City extend their lead to 18 points. Liverpool are up to second. Then it's Manchester United. Then it's Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, who stay as they are. Burnley, Leicester, Watford up to 9 for their win. Brighton in the top 10. The bottom is Everton, Bournemouth, Swansea, West Ham, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Stoke, and West Brom, who lose again. And Alan Pardew has single-handedly got that team relegated, even though they were already relegated when they sacked Tony Pugh. So guys, let's see what happened this week in the Bundesliga. And the Bundesliga, Freiburg got thrashed 4-0 against Bayern Munich, where what you expect. Bayern Munich have lost a game, slow back, and it's especially Bayern Munich look like, to be honest, Jurgen Henkel back to where they should be, and they, for me, could win the treble, like Man City this season. They're, for me, won the Bundesliga. I think they're 20-something points clear. Also, they could also win the German Cup, and they could also win the Champions League if they get a nice, even, good draw. Don't play at the big teams. They could. And they've had an excellent season, apart from the sack. I thought the sack Conjoy wasn't a great thing. Definitely was the right appointment. Heinke has done a remarkable job. He's definitely a David manager against the best out of players, and he's definitely the best out of so many players. They've also brought in Wagner, who scored in this game. Lewandowski got a rest, but they look like they're going places Bayern, and their superiority continues. Freiburg, bigger fish to fry as well. They've got bigger games coming up instead of playing Bayern. Dortmund played Leipzig in a very interesting 1-1 draw. We should say Marco Reus has now scored against every Bundesliga club in the Bundesliga. Note to self, there's a stat for any statisticians out there. And Leipzig did get back in the game. Bashar had a couple of chances, but they weren't really guilty chances. It was a good game, but a bad game at the same time. Both teams just lacked a bit of quality in the final third. Give or take, you expect Dortmund to win this game, but a decent point for Leipzig, who do look like being caught adrift for the top 4 spots. Maybe Europa League is best shot for them this season. Dortmund, I expect them to finish second. Or Schalke move up to second with a tricky little 1-0 win against Hertha Berlin. Hertha actually played well as well, but again, they just can't get that goal to get a point or even get a win. Schalke just did enough in the end to win the game, and they're up to second, and I think they will finish in the top 4 of the season. Leverkusen also win 2-1. Leverkusen also win in the race for the Champions League position. They beat Wolfsburg 2-1, and they also are in the mire for fighting for the. Wolfsburg are also in the mire fighting for relegation this season. Their form has been abysmal in the last month and a half, and they've got big games coming up as well. So they're not. They really do need to pick up points, or they're definitely going down this year, or maybe even fighting for the relegation playoff against a team like they were last season. I think they faced one of the teams in the second division in Germany. But as for Leverkusen, massive win for them. That's now 2. I think that's after the defeat against Schalke last week. This gives them a little bit of, yeah, we can do it. If they can get some good momentum going from the end of the season, I think they will finish 4th. I don't think they'll finish above like Schalke and Dortmund, but I do think they could get that last Champions League spot, maybe ahead of Frankfurt, maybe. But it's going to be a really good end to the season for the Bundesliga in relegation and the Champions League position. And last game is Stuttgart are now also a new fight for the Europa League, Champions League fight. You have to put them in it now because they have now in a little bit of form, and they beat Cologne. Cologne were 1 up in this game, but they look like it's out of their hands. They don't look like they're going to stay up this season because they've got too much work to do to get the points they have, because the start of the season, I think in the first start of the season, they had no points and they looked like down and out, nobody gave them a chance. So their terrible start of the season has definitely helped them in their chance of staying up. As for Stuttgart, they're in a really good run. I think they're only 6 points behind Leipzig, so they are really starting momentum now, and Leipzig's form has been all over the place, so it won't be a bad shout out. Stuttgart do finish above them this season. That'll be a massive, that'll be a big shock if that happens. If Stuttgart finishes above Leipzig in the table. We would have thought to see at the start of the season. So guys, look at the Bundesliga table. Bayern Munich top on 63 points, 20 points back to Schalke. Wow, the gap's getting bigger before we see this more. Then it is Dortmund here a point behind. Frankfurt are now in 4th, are on the same number of points as Dortmund, but only a goal difference behind. Leverkusen are a point behind. Then it's Leipzig, Hoffenheim, Clubback, Stuttgart moved to 9th, and are only 6 points off Leipzig. What a remarkable end of the season around. And then Augsburg. At the bottom is Hannover, Hertha, Freiburg, Werder Bremen, Wolfsburg, Mainz, Hamburg, and Cologne. So that's the Bundesliga table after 27 matches. So guys, let's see what happened this weekend in La Liga. And in La Liga, the big game was between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Two teams trying to, if Barcelona lost this game, if Atletico Madrid win this game, the gap was 2 points. If Barcelona win this game, the gap will move from 5 to 7 points. And that's what happened. Barcelona win 1-0 thanks to a world-class fucking free kick from Lionel Messi, his 600th goal for Barcelona. The guy is just a GOAT. The greatest of all time. Simple as that. Unless somebody else. Unless the Ronaldo fans saying, no he's not. Ronaldo's the greatest of all time. Pele's the greatest of all time. Maradona's the greatest. Okay. Everybody's entitled to opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Messi's the greatest player I've ever seen. And Ronaldo has been a great player, don't get me wrong, but Messi's just an absolute G. I've never seen anybody like him in a long time. And when he retires, people will realise how good a player he actually was. So he's been excellent for Barcelona. He's scored an absolute world-class goal. Yes, Luis Suarez had a chance at the end. Yes, Sergio Busquets had a chance. Yes, Atletico Madrid also had chances from Kevin Gamero and Diego Costa. Griezmann didn't really have the game that I thought he was going to have. Like, we all know he's going to go to Barcelona next season. And just go to Barcelona, when you go to Camp Nou and show what Barcelona are going to get. You didn't really have, let's say, I'm going to be at Barcelona next season. Get them win the league. I'm not really fussed. But I think if Atletico Madrid finish second this season above Real Madrid, also in the Europa League, I think that's a really good season for them. Diego Simeone has done a remarkable job again at Atletico Madrid. And I think he's in a lot of big clubs, maybe Arsenal, maybe Inter Milan, we're looking at Diego Simeone in the summer. But it's a good, massive win for Barcelona, who could, I think, the only team that can stop them from not going a whole season unbeaten is their arch rivals Real Madrid in that Clásico coming up in a couple of months' time. That's now becoming the biggest game for Real Madrid. I know they got Champions League to worry about, but if Real Madrid can say that they can end the sort of the invincible Barcelona team that we're going to see right now, they may have a decent season. They may actually say, you know what, we did something this season, because it's been absolutely shocking. And moving on to Real Madrid, they win 3-1 against Getafe. Ronaldo scored 2 goals in this game. Yes, Getafe got a man sent off. Yes, Getafe got Remy. He was sent off in this game for Getafe. But it was a good win for Real Madrid to boost some confidence. They're starting to get confidence now, even though they got a defeat against Espanyol in midweek. But they've been such a hot and cold team this season. Like they're like a radar, just going up and down, up and down. Like it's just been they've had an awful season. I don't think it's a down the next season. There's a major reshuffle in terms of players going out and in Real Madrid. It looks like Lewandowski, Hazard, and maybe Harry Kane. There's also speculation there that I didn't think. There's also think Courtois linked Real Madrid. There's going to be a lot of changes at Real Madrid this summer. Pochettino's linked Real Madrid. Pochettino is Real Madrid's main manager they want next season. So watch the space and nose. But they got a good one, and they should finish third this season. And they probably only chance of having a successful season is at the win Champions League for the third consecutive season. And the fight for the fifth spot this season, Sevilla won 2-0 against Athletic Bilbao. You expect them to win. Granola have been absolutely sensational this season, and they're up to 7th, They're only a point behind the team they beat this weekend in Villarreal. So, and they're only 5 points behind fucking Sevilla. So they could easily be fighting with Villarreal, Sevilla, and Granola could be fighting for them Europa League spots. They've been excellent this season, and they get a good 1-0 winning against Villarreal. And last game is Real Sociedad, who look like to get back to winning ways. They've had a very poor season in terms of where they should be as a club. But they just beat Alves 2-1. Did enough in the end. Alves, who will definitely stay in La Liga this season because it's a massive gap between them and Levante and Las Palmas, Deportivo Malaga, where I think between them, one of them 4 to go down this season in La Liga. But they've been excellent. They've took up some momentum. They've done enough to stay in the league for another season. So guys, look at La Liga table with Barcelona top on 69 points. Atletico Madrid second. Rennes, Real Madrid, Valencia, Sevilla, Villarreal stay as they are. Then Espanyol move up to 7th and only 5 points behind Sevilla and a point behind Villarreal. Wow, what a season they're having. There's Elbar, there's Betis and Getafe. And at the bottom is Celta Vigo, where Sauce move up to 12th, their win. Leganes, Atletico Bilbao, Espanyol, Alves. And then a massive gap from Alves down to Levante in 10, which is 10 points. And then Las Palmas, Deportivo La Coruña, Malaga, is between Levante, Las Palmas and Deportivo. Malaga, not good. They don't look like they're going to get many more points and look like they're going to be the first team to get relegated this season. So guys, move on to see what happened this weekend in Serie. We've only 3 games in Serie this weekend because of the tragic death of David Astori, who my condolences go to his family and everybody who's been affected by it. But the big game, but the fight for the Scudetto takes a little twist this weekend, as Juventus beat Lazio, who you expect them, which I didn't. I tipped a draw because Lazio have been excellent this season. Immobile, only Harry Kane, and I think Cavani has scored more goals this season than Immobile, who's been by far the best player in Serie this season. Also, Messi Savic, who hasn't had a great, he didn't have a great game, but he didn't have a great game. You thought, okay, this is a game he's going to turn up. Maybe fatigue's now starting to come in because he's played a lot of games this season. But in the end, Dybala scores an absolute pizza goal to get the 3 points, and the typical Juventus dogged, ugly, scrappy game, but they do enough to win, and that's the mentality of that club. They just find a way of winning every game. So it's a massive win for them. As for Napoli, who lost against Roma, who were booed, their own fans booed them off after the terrible performance they did against AC Milan, and they went to Naples and were excellent. De Rossi had the best game I have seen him play probably since the World Cup in 2006. He was absolutely sensational. Dzeko scores his 50th Serie A goal, mad thing. And also the little Turkish magician, everybody's saying he's been sensational since they signed him from one of the Turkish teams. I think it was Galatasaray they signed him from. And he thought, okay, because Mohamed Salah was sold, they lack pace, lack a little bit of finish mentality. He's come like a bit of quality really. He's come in and he's definitely what they needed. I don't think he's like Mohamed Salah, but I do think they've got a really good player in their hands. So he was excellent in this game. They get a good 4-2 win. Yes, you could say Mertens and Insigne just get a couple of yes, Mertens got a consolation 4-2, but they were poor in this game. Napoli, even though they were 1-0 in this game, they weren't really at it. And Roma, give credit due, deserved the win. And that win moved up to the top 3. And last game is Spal beat Bologna in a massive win for Spal. Now made that 2 wins in a row after beating Crotone last week and now win this game. They're definitely in a bit of form because of Crotone's awful form this season. Awful ends of the season. Maybe they can stay off Spal. Maybe they can. Bologna, they've done enough. They're going to be comfortably table. So guys, look at the Serie table. Only wasn't any games this weekend, but Napoli and Juventus, the gap is now 1, and Spal and the bottom Spal move up to 17th as Crotone are now in the bottom 3. Nothing else has changed because the rest of the games were all postponed. So let's move on to the last Ligue earned. And Ligue earned PSG win 2-0, and Weah's son scores. Looks like to be the breakout star. That's right. Wenger has a son that plays for PSG, and he played the whole game, scored an absolute great freaking goal. There was no Neymar in his team because of his massive injury he picked up against Marseille. He looks like to be out for his 4 to 6 weeks, which means he will miss the return leg on Tuesday against Real Madrid, which will be a massive blow and may actually dent their season, because the Champions League is their top priority this season. Yes, they're well going to win the league and also going to dominate France, but Champions League has been their sole priority this season. Big now Neymar's injured. The likes of Cavani, the likes of Mbappe, Di Maria and Draxler have to step up now and get this team, get PSG into the next round of the Champions League. It's going to be really difficult when you're 3-1 down against Real Madrid, but we've seen it before. You can never say never in the Champions League, because I didn't think Barcelona would come back from 4-0 down against PSG to win 6-1. So you can never say never. But it's going to be really difficult. But PSG, that's a win that will get them even closer to bringing back their Liga title from Monaco. And speaking of Monaco, they went 2-1 against Bordeaux. Bordeaux had played well in this game, but totally missed Malcolm, who was out for an injury. But Monaco had enough in the end to win 2-1. And that win for me, I think they will finish second. Like I said in previous videos, I think they will finish second this season. I just think them not playing in Europe has definitely helped them from now to the end of the season. Falcao I know he doesn't play a lot of games now, Falcao, but United can now rest him for some games and he can play in some games. So they can definitely focus now from the end of the season. They're going to finish second because Marseille are playing Europa League and Lyon's form has been awful in the tier end of the season. So Monaco should finish second. Bordeaux, if they get top 10 this season, I think that's a good season for them. Speaking of Marseille, they drew 1-1 against Nantes. Nantes, who were leading this game throughout the whole game. And at the end, Florian Thauvin, who's been, if not, and actually has been, Marseille's best player by a mile, scores his 15th goal of the season, which is now joint with what he scored last season. So he could easily score 20 goals this season, which surprises me how he just didn't do that for Newcastle. Some players just suit some leagues probably much. But he was excellent in this game, and he has been stepping up when likes of Payet and many other players have just not been out of this season. Payet's been terrible this season, probably the worst I've ever seen him play, ever. And I told you about Payet, he is overrated, and I was right. But Florian Thauvin, he got an equaliser and a good point, and they should finish third this season because Lyon drew at this week against Montpellier, and that's 2 points dropped again for Lyon, and I'd be shocked if they even finish above Marseille this season. The only chance of Lyon staying, only chance of Lyon getting Champions League football is they have to win the Europa League, like Arsenal, to actually get a chance of being in the Champions League season. They sold Lacazette because they were in the Champions League. They will probably look like to be selling Fekir, who I think is a real talent, an absolute gem of a player, in the summer, because Champions League is where all the best players in the world want to play in. He is I wouldn't say Fekir is the best player in the world, but he's the best talent coming out of Lyon. They're going to lose him, and it doesn't look like they're going to get there. But they could still if they win Europa League. It's going to be very difficult for them. And the last game is Nice versus Lyon. Nice went 2-1. Lyon look precarious. Ligue 2 may actually be a thing for Lyon next season because they're really struggling. They sacked Bielsa a couple of months ago, and also they're in major debt. FFP are knocking on their door. Players are not happy. The fans are protesting against the board. It's not happy. It's not a nice vibe at Lyon, which I always thought when they had Eden Hazard, Yoran Kabay, Debussy, many other great players. I think they won the treble a long time ago. Now they look like nowhere even near to that now. But they look like they're going to go down this year. There's not good vibes at Lyon. As for Nice, if they get to be, up 5th, 6th, 7th this season after their shocking start, I think that's a really good sort of end to see for them. Balotelli's starting to score goals again, which is good for him and good for Nice. So they should easily be finishing mid. They should be finishing the building above the rest, ahead of the top 4. So guys, let's look at League earn table, where PSG are single-handedly won this league. They're now, I think, 14 points ahead of Monaco. Yes, they're now 14 points ahead of Monaco. That's Marseille. Lyon stay as they are. Rennes now up to 5th, ahead of Montpellier, who are only a point behind Nantes as well. Amiens, Nice, Bordeaux, Dijon. And the bottom is Guingamp, Caen, Saint-Étienne, Angers, Strasbourg, Armens, Toulouse, Troyes, Lille, and Metz. And that is your Liga table after 28. So guys, stay on the football impact for this episode. Hope you guys are having an amazing day and enjoy yourselves as well. Please like, subscribe, the natural.